In this video, I'm going to be breaking down VeChain, going over what I think the chart is showing right now, where I'm going to be buying more VeChain, and what I think it's going to do in the future, and giving my price prediction. Let's jump in. So on the screen here, I've got VeChain. I'm looking at the weekly time frame. And as you can see, I've got some drawings already on the chart. Now, this first drawing that you can see is called an expanding diagonal. And just to show you what this looks like, here is a little diagram kind of showing what a textbook expanding diagonal looks like. Shout out to Crypto Mento for dropping this on his X account. So the expanding diagonal is one of the most common Elliott Wave patterns. On this channel and through my analysis, I like to look at Elliott Wave. That's just one of the trading methods that has allowed me to understand more of the markets. And since jumping back into crypto over the last couple months or so, I've been seeing a lot of Elliott Wave patterns show up in a lot of these charts. So to break down the expanding diagonal, it is a 5-wave structure with 3 upward moves, waves 1, 3, and 5. And it also includes 2 pullback moves or corrective moves, which are waves 2 and waves 4. When you put all of these together, there's a little bit of an overlap and it creates this expanding cone type shape. That's why it's called an expanding diagonal. So let's take a look at this on the chart. And you could see that's exactly what we have on this VeChain chart. So we have wave 1 starting right here, coming back down, that corrective wave 2, going back up for wave 3, and then back down for wave 4. And we are just now getting a bounce off of this lower trend line. And that is a great time to enter for this particular pattern. Reason being, it's because you want to enter at a price near support. So we have support here on this lower trend line, and we have what's called an engulfing candlestick right here. So I love seeing these candles on support, coming up from support. And basically this green candle is an engulfing, a bullish engulfing candle. And basically a bullish engulfing candle takes up the body of the candle takes up the entire body of the previous candle. So you can see, let me zoom in just a little bit more. But this green candle takes up all of this previous red candle. It literally takes out the highs fully, like the candle just went and blew past it. That is a very bullish sign when you find it near support, like we have on this lower trend line, also within this expanding diagonal. It doesn't mean that it always goes up, but we're looking for probabilities here when it comes to trading. We're not going to get every single trade right, but by looking at the chart and doing analysis, we increase our probability of identifying which way the market is going to go. So inside of this expanding diagonal pattern with this bullish engulfing candle, that's a good sign. So I'm actually going to be buying some VeChain right at this level right here, which is we're just about 2 cents right now. And so where do I think this could go? Because we still have wave 5 to go in this pattern. We still have wave 5 that still has plenty to go. And in fact, it's just getting started. I would say it's just starting with this bullish engulfing candle. One thing to pay attention to when it comes to the expanding diagonal is that wave 5 is typically the largest wave. It's larger than wave 3, and wave 3 is larger than wave 1. It's expanding. So each of the waves are getting larger as they go on. So I can reasonably predict that wave 5 is going to at least pass wave 3. One of the ways that we can get an exact measure is by using the trend-based Fibonacci extension tool. Basically, what that allows us to do is measure the length of one wave and then compare it to another wave. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to compare wave 3, which starts here and goes up all the way up here. So now we have the length of wave 3, and we can compare that to where the start of wave 4 is. So I'm going to set it right here. So we know that at the 1 level, this would be from down here to up here would be the exact length of wave 3. It's 1. Anything below that would be smaller than wave 3. Anything above 1 would be larger than wave 3. So I would say reasonably, we're going to get just for this particular pattern of the expanding diagonal, we're going to get at least a 6-cent target for this, just inside of this pattern. Now, we know this can go a lot higher. We'll get into that in just a second. But in order for this pattern to play out, it needs to at least get to this 1.0 level, because wave 5 is going to be larger than wave 3, and wave 3, if it were to be placed right here where wave 4 is, would end up at the 6-cent level. So I think it could actually go higher. I think it could actually go up to this 1.72 level. That would also kind of fall into the range of where this trend line is. Oftentimes this fifth wave can overextend and actually go beyond the boundaries of this upper trend line, but it would be reasonable to think that wave 5 could end up right here, anywhere near this, looks like around 8, almost 9-cent level, which would be almost basically a 4x, almost a 4x from where it is right now. And one other thing that I'll mention, let me back some of these drawings off. One thing that I'll also mention is sometimes when these expanding diagonals form and we get that fifth wave up here, we're going up and we get that fifth wave, sometimes it will correct. We'll get a slight pullback, and then it will create a tail that basically continues on a lot further than this over here. And I would not be surprised if we get something like that. It could even be a little bit more aggressive to where we have a small pullback and then it just continues up in this current cycle. So where could that potentially put us? It could take us to all-time highs, which are at about 26 cents. I believe that it could go to that level. If it did, we would be looking somewhere around the market cap for that would probably to go from it would pretty much 10x from here as far as market cap. A little bit over 10x if we were to get to all-time highs, which I think is totally reasonable within the cycle if everything goes according to plan with Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the rest of the altcoins. I see where it could definitely 10x. In fact, this is so crazy to me. From the low of the last cycle, bear market, all the way to all-time highs, it basically 200x'd. 200x'd. So to think that possibly we could get anywhere close to that, I don't think it's going to 200x in this next run, but it could go anywhere between 10x and 200. It could even 25 or 50x. Time will tell, but there is the law of diminishing returns, which basically means over time it gets harder and harder to get those massive moves like 200x. Even Bitcoin itself doesn't necessarily put up super crazy multiples like that, like it once did when it first came out in the early days of Bitcoin or Ethereum, stuff like that. So I think it could reasonably 25x. And according to its current market cap, we're at about 2 billion market cap on VeChain. So even a 25x would put it around a $50 billion market cap. And at the time of this recording, Solana is at like 100 billion. So not too unreasonable. So This for me is a great time to buy. This is where I'm going to be buying right here. I think it's a great spot with low risk. We want to mitigate our risk. We believe that this is near support. So of course it could go below this, but the way that the pattern is showing right here, it looks like this could be the start of this wave 5 move. And if it does that, I think there'll be a lot of people jumping in. And with this cycle moving, we could see VeChain reach all-time highs, which would be a 10x from here, and then continue to pass on, maybe even hit $1. Maybe could even get close to $1, which would be a 50x from where we are right now. And that would leave it with a market cap of about 100 billion. So I think that that's all within reason, just based upon what we've seen in the crypto market. So this is just for entertainment purposes. I'm showing you what I'm doing, where I'm investing. I'm getting in dollar cost averaging on VeChain right now. In fact, I already have some VeChain that I bought from the last cycle and I've held on to it. So I'm just going to continue to buy into that position, especially where the chart looks right now. So if you like this content and you want to see more breakdown videos, make sure that you subscribe to the channel. If you found this video helpful, if you learned something new, hit the thumbs up button. I really appreciate that. And I will see you in the next video.